Oh, Warrior Code. So for years we complained about how bad some of the code rules are, and they finally addressed them and made changes. So that was awesome. But I feel like the result wasn't exactly what I was hoping for. Today I'm going to be judging the old Warrior Code as presented to us in Code of the Clans, pitted against the new Warrior Code as presented to us in a random article on the official website. Yeah, it's kind of crossing my mind now that we may never get another official field guide, because the website sort of takes its place now. Oh well, let's talk Warrior Code. The original Warrior Code had 15 rules. The new Warrior Code has 16. No, this is not just one added rule. The new code does the following. Removes one rule, adds 2 rules, makes major changes to 4 rules, makes minor changes to 4 rules, and reorders the rules so they are in order of importance. In the original code, I think they were just in the order they were created. So let's look at each changed rule one by one. First rule, it's almost completely changed. This is the change introduced in Bramblestar Storm, that no clan should be allowed to fall. But this wording takes it even further, calling every cat allies. So I guess you could say, border skirmishes are borderline against the Warrior Code now, because stealing territory is kind of the opposite of defending all clans and making sure no one falls. It would be a great rule if this was real society, of course. But I don't know, it feels a bit pacifistic for a book series titled Warriors. Second rule, also changed. Are they saying it's okay to hunt and trespass now? You know, provided it doesn't disrespect traditions. This new rule kinda doesn't feel well thought out, considering traditions is very vague. Like old ThunderClan and RiverClan had a tradition of starving each other by battling over Sunning Rocks every 5 minutes. Should we bring that back? Would that be something worth respecting? The Warrior Code is a tradition. Why are we changing it then, if tradition must always be respected? This rule is weird. Third rule, we clarify that queens and sick or injured cats also need to be fed along with those kits and elders. The clans did that anyway, so we're good there. And also, there is this weird specification about apprentices needing to hunt for the elders unless they get permission not to, which I feel like could already be implied by the first sentence, so I don't really get why they added it. Fourth rule, fifth rule, sixth rule, and seventh rule all stay the same, just the numbers change. The whole ordering of the new code was meant to show that things like warrior vigils and the one apprentice rule are more formalities than strict regulations, and yeah, that's sound reasoning. 8th rule and 9th rule, just specifying that leaders and deputies can be exiled, and that the Moon High formality extends to when deputies are promoted to leader. Kinda strange that the Moon High formality is ranked 9, while other formalities are much lower on the list, but it's not a big deal. 10th rule, they clarified that all clans means all 5 clans. And also, they took out the part about no fighting among the clans at the gathering? So the truce is gone now? Nah, it's still there. It's also in the first sentence. They're saving the code from redundancy. I guess that makes up for them adding redundancy earlier on. 11th rule. So they keep that border patrols and arguments are valid, but are definitely discouraging any actual battles, saying remember all cats follow the Warrior Code. Which I mean, okay, boring books it is. 12th rule. They just changed may to can and got rid of an unneeded in. 13th rule. Yay, it's gone. Though it's kinda sad that we had to remove a rule from the code just so cats knew not to follow ruthless and hate-filled murderers. You'd think it'd be common sense. 14th rule. Unchanged. Though they did bump it up to number 3 because killing is bad, obviously. Though apparently not as bad as ignoring tradition is. That is concerning. What if it was one clan's tradition to murder cats in battle? Then that would override this rule. That's not good. 15th rule, unchanged. Being a kitty pet is still bad. And finally, we have the 2 brand new rules that don't correspond to existing rules. And, wow. these are significantly longer and more complicated. Like, they couldn't let the gathering rule be 2 sentences, but here we are with the 5-sentence rule. So this first one is the response to unjust cats who find themselves as leader and how to get rid of them. But this reads more like a law than a tradition or moral conduct. It definitely goes against the vibe of the warrior code. I feel like it should be more nuanced and open to different executions. Like, just have the rule be, the clan reserves the right to drive out a leader who is harmful to the clan. But instead we got a long, drawn-out process, which when they inevitably carry it out in a book, is just going to be not fun. There are 3 sets of cats who have to specifically agree, and then they just sort of assume StarClan can zap the lives from one cat to another, despite the opposite being established in Warrior Cat's lore. They couldn't grab Broken Star's lives away because he went missing, and any dishonest leader like him wouldn't bow before the moon pool to welcome that process. It just feels off to have a supernatural fantasy ceremony be inserted into the code which otherwise has nothing of the sort. The code is for the clans, not for StarClan. The only mention of StarClan in the original code is thanking them for the life of Bray. But now they're part of a trial? And the other new rule doesn't feel much better. This is the solution to forbidden romance. But instead of the rule just being, cats can change clans now, or cats can have mates across clans because we're discouraging battles so heavily anyway, we get another paragraph. The cat may switch their allegiance, but they have to meet a set of conditions. But then they only list a single condition, that the clan has to choose a specific test for them to overcome to prove their loyalty. Which, I mean, why can't they just say, if the clan accepts them? Because if they didn't accept the idea, they could just make the task flying to the moon or something impossible. And if they did accept the cat, they could just do something stupidly easy like they did in River. We had cats like Greystripe, Finleap, Dovewing switch clans before this rule. Why do we need a rule now? And why do we have to insert StarClan into another rule? If approval from the clan they're going to is what's important, why is StarClan's approval also being mentioned? Like, I feel like the main problem with the original Warrior Code was that it was too strict in areas where it didn't need to be, and the solution to this would have been to make it more simple and relaxed. But they just made it more complicated. Warrior Cats coming closer to developing an elaborate law and trial system is something that I can't say I wanted. I kinda just want more evil leaders, epic battles, and spicy romance plots. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments. Alright, bye everyone!